Bilal, I just want him to get his title shot. Period. I don't think he's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
beat
yeah.
Leon. I don't think he's gonna beat Leon. I don't think he's gonna beat Shavkat. But at the end of the day, like, you've worked for it, you deserve it. Let him go inside there and
Uh,
get beat at least.
the worst outcome. I know if he won,
Hey, if he
they
wins,
know.
he's gonna get finished by Shavkat. If Bilal wins, it'll be a decision.
I didn't say decision though. I'm saying what if he KOs him?
Hey,
That's
that
what
would
I'm
be
saying.
crazy. That would be crazy.
Crazy with the same head kick he does it to Usman.
That would be nuts.
Surprise! Bam!
Yeah. Headshot dead. I would lose my mind. Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to the Scrap and Roll MMA podcast. I'm your host, Sky. We got your host, Jace, and special guest, listener of the pod, Nib, in the building. Let's go. Once again, if y'all want to come on the podcast, go ahead, send us an email, scrapandrollmma@gmail.com, or hit us up on Instagram or TikTok. I've had people hit us up on there. And we love to have y'all come on, whether y'all want to debate with us, y'all agree with us, don't agree, have a good time. Tell us a little bit about when you got into MMA and like who your favorite fighters are, stuff like that.
I'll say when I first started actually watching MMA, it was during the time was like the Khabib versus Conor era. That was the pinnacle during that time. And I've been ever since that day because I'm not a big sport fan. I don't watch sports. But that particular moment when I started to realize like I knew this like I like this one, and I've ever since that day I didn't stop. Pretty much that's how I got watching MMA until that day. I still keep going, move forward. Yeah.
So let me ask you this: what about the Conor Khabib thing got you? Was it the storyline? Was it like the actual fighters itself? Like what like captivated you?
I have a really hard take about this. I
Okay,
see Conor I see Conor McGregor as Muhammad Ali. I see Khabib as Joe Frazier. There's a lot of like because Conor other people forget about this. Conor and Khabib used to be friendly together.
yeah,
They had like IG. They took a photo together. They tried Khabib, gave a heart and like to Conor, all that stuff, and just seeing him to become this emotional, like technical, psychological two face trying to just to create this like business opportunistic. Like it's the same what Ali did to Joe Frazier. Because I used to watch boxing. It's the same thing. People don't know that. And Khabib is
I'm
kind of like the guy, and it's very similar to like Joe Frazier. It's really interesting. That's
I'm
why,
a boxing guy as well.
yeah, because people don't know Ali. He's that guy. If people don't know, like Ali took his opportunity to take that civil right like kind of activist and use it to against Joe Frazier and call him Uncle Tom, even though that's a lie.
Yeah,
He was his friend. He betrayed him. He gave him money for 3 years. So that kind of reminds me a lot with Conor McGregor versus like Khabib. That's why. That's why I love the sport. It's like the story narrative. Like you see it all behind the scene. It is all kind of like everything connected.
yeah,
It
me.
get this big lead up. Like you need your hero and your villain. You can't be both. Ian Gary, you can't be both.
Oh, we
You know
love
that's
it.
true.
That's true.
That's
That's
why.
true. But he's
That's
a
why.
villain. Me and Sky say all the time. He's by far the most hated man in the sport currently. Currently,
Yeah.
today, you do a poll who's hated the most. Fucking Ian Gary. He can suck it slow.
Yeah. People forget this guy when people forget the first emotional tactic he did was like a college frat boy to Daniel Rodriguez when he was cutting weight. He just knocked on the door, gave him pizza, and just tee and just walk away. That's what he
He
did
did what?
to his first
He,
opponent. He
wait.
he
He did
bought
what again? He. Shout out to Michael
he.
Jackson.
I'm not lying. What he did, like he tried to kind of be like get inside his opponent's head by
Yep.
buying a pizza box, a box of pizza, went to Daniel Rodriguez's weight cut at his room, and knock it and just leave it there and just like walk away like a schoolgirl like doing a prank. That's
Yeah.
what he did,
So
and eventually he did like he becomes more aggressive, gets more interpersonal with people's business, like the DUI with Jeff Neal, tried to frame Neil Magny as a child abuser.
yeah.
But at the
So
same time,
I was just gonna ask. So who's your current favorite fighter?
That depends on which division.
You
Okay,
only get one. You only get one.
okay. If I have to say a favorite fight, it has to be when you watch a guy and you don't want him to lose and you feel nervous every single time. I would have to say Islam.
Shout
That's
out to
the
Max
Ooh,
Holloway.
yeah,
Islam.
yeah.
Okay,
That's the only
that's a
interesting.
yeah,
first.
That's a
yeah,
first. And
yeah.
who do you want to see Islam fight next?
Everyone's book. You know,
Who
DP.
do
I would
you
say.
want to see Islam fight next?
Let me think. Okay. I know he's gonna beat Gaethje. I know he's gonna beat Dustin. That's a guarantee. I
He's gonna beat
know.
them all.
Like it feels just it's just Khabib's like takeover. Like, hey brother, you're taking my recycle back. Oh sure. It's okay. I would say
You
Arman.
think Armin
Arman's is one of the
Sarukian
is the only guy I
rematch?
would say. Yeah, why not? If Arman could beat Charles, an amazing performance, then he should take the next title shot. But if Charles beat Arman, I would say Charles should take it. Because that's pretty much like yeah. I would say yeah too. It's Arman Sarukian. They just have a much more competitive
Fair.
skills.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
against each other.
think it's safe to say that it'll probably be DP. Like they've been going back and forth. Him and Dustin Poirier have been
Double
going back and forth on
penetration.
Twitter.
Yeah, because if I love what I noticed when Khabib when he like destroyed Volk. Sorry, Volk. Uh, when he
What?
became destroy, obliterate. He literally like
Killed him.
made
Ended his
a
career.
great. It changed the neuron to his brain to become this demoralize his wisdom to take a
I mean, getting
as
philosophical over here.
yeah make wrong
Listen, hey,
decisions.
wait a goddamn moment. Wait. Woo, woo.
Make the wrong
Don't act like he didn't lose the first time they fought.
He didn't. He
Hmm?
won.
Bullshit.
Islam won.
I could say to John Jones with
I'll
his
take it
other
out.
fights. I can say with Max with others fight. Close fight doesn't becomes a guaranteed winning fights. Close fights are not guaranteed. This is how I know about the sport. Close fights are not guaranteed winning fights. It could go either way, and people be like, it could go here, it could go there. I'll be like, eh. At the end, all it matters becoming a competitor. You win. That's it. No one cares. No one cares. You're gonna complain. You could go back and forth. Ask Chito about it, making your complaints. That's it.
Shout out to Chito.
No.
Yeah.
Why do these fighters keep coming out afterwards with these lame excuses? Oh, his hair was greasy. It's like, dude, you never even attempted a takedown. When did you even touch his head? Did you even land a head strike? Cheeto, stop. That was crazy.
Is that what he said?
Yes, he said that
Yeah.
when you typically go and get your hair braided from the lady that does it at the UFC, that they don't use a lot of products in the hair so that your hair is not greasy. But that apparently Sean O'Malley's hair was greasy when he tried to grab it. His hands were just slipping off. I'm like, my guy, when did you even touch his head? When did you even get close enough?
I didn't know that was the excuse. Wait a goddamn
Yes.
second now. We gotta
Oh
get a little
man.
more creative. That's from like
Yeah.
the Deontay Wilder, like, hey, my suit was too heavy. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, what? What you mean, bruh?
Yeah. Yeah. It's been
Even his coach said like make excuse. If we had 10 more seconds, we could have
Yeah.
win that fight. And I'm like,
Off
you
of the
had
liver shot.
25 minutes and you didn't do shit, anything at
Jeez.
all. You didn't do anything. 25 minutes inside that one fight. And I'm like, Cheeto, you're not Sugar Ray Robinson. You're Robert De Durant. You should have take a hit and give a hit. But you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's
Oh,
it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
facts. Let's take a quick look at this weekend's card. Before we get to this weekend's card, I don't know if y'all watched, but Bellator was on. We forgot to talk about it
Who?
last week because I didn't even realize that it was on. Exactly. But real quick,
I'm
Bellator
like,
was on last weekend
oh.
on a Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which was crazy, on HBO Max. Like, yeah, just wild. Like, Nobody knew it was on, but I did. I'm sitting there watching. Corey Anderson is finally a champion. News alert. The man has been crying and complaining and talking about UFC fighters for so long that he finally went to Bellator and got a title in a very boring 5 rounds of him holding on for dear life. But there was a fight. There were some good fights that were on there. Your boy Patricio Pitbull retained his title at 145. He got a finish in the second round. It was pretty good. But there was a fight on there that I did add to the knockout tracker, and I wish I would have pulled it up. But it was Tim Wild versus Manel Sosa. Nasty, vicious knockout. I'm gonna have to pull it up. Pause in a minute. So I can show it to y'all.
Better pull up than to pull out. That's her problem.
Yeah. So Bellator. They had a fight. Apparently, they're going to be doing 6 more events where it's just Bellator fights and, all the rest of this stuff.
That's so fucking wild because I actually have HBO Max. Like, I don't remember getting no alerts, updates, nothing.
Nothing. It was like they announced it on Wednesday. Yeah. My bad. They announced it on Wednesday and they were on Friday, and it was just kind of just like, okay, what do we do now? Like, it was.
Oh, hey, wait! I take that back.
For you.
The fight card was in Ireland, eh?
Yes, Belfast.
Yeah, they got to work on their fucking. They got to have to pay some bread for advertising. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're gonna have to.
I'm like Makhachev said though. Like, I think he said it's. Makhachev said like the freaking like the staff of the UFC marketing is like the whole Bellator staff. Like the whole, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, they don't have that many.
Yeah, like
employees there.
Like a lot of streamings like services like HBO and Netflix are now start doing like sport events. Start to realize the potential interest. Like Netflix with like Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul.
Can't wait. Take my fucking money.
No.
You can't take my money. How?
He's gonna win. Jake Paul's gonna win.
How?
He's old.
How?
60.
How?
60 versus 27. Decision.
I don't give a fuck. Listen, Mike, I'm not fighting Mike Tyson right now, even though he's 60. I ain't fighting that motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, wait, real quick. Speaking of Mike, let's talk about it. On this weekend's card, we had Lil Mike Tyson Jr., Igor, what's his last name? This man is a nut. Igor Severino. Your boy tried to take a chunk out of Andre's arm, and then sat there with a straight face, looked at the ref and was like, I didn't bite him. Dude, your whole mouth is on this dude's arm. Like, where did that come from?
Shout out to your boy for getting that tattoo. Oh my God.
He got a $50K bonus from Dana. Igor got cut from the UFC. His money is being held up by the Nevada State Commission. He'll probably end up getting banned from Nevada State Commission, and you don't get paid. What were you this is the biggest L of the year thus far.
Listen, this is the biggest L of the last 20 years.
Well, you do have people what's his name, Paul Daly.
Yeah, but I think Paul Daly still got paid. He got fined, right? Yeah. But you're talking about purse being held. So he flew all the way from God knows where,
Brazil,
trying to get this bag for the team. He he got to get the bag for the team. You know what I'm saying? And he going home with nothing. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
They know what when young hungry fighters. I don't think that's what he meant.
That's what he wanted. That's what he got.
That's a pun. That's what we call a pun, folks.
Yeah. Crazy though.
Shout out to Julian Erosa. He went inside there, got that nasty submission. Let me see. What was your boy, Fernando Padilla? He did his thing. He went inside there and yeah.
Hey, that One Piece reference. One Piece, bro. One Piece.
I love that. Yeah.
That was dope. You did a One Piece. I like cool.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. Yusuf Zalal looked really good against Billy Q. Of course, if y'all didn't watch the podcast last week, I told y'all watch out for the Peyton. I told y'all to watch out for Peyton Talbot. I was so happy to see Cameron Saman lose. I mean, I think that was the highlight for me was him. But he ate that nasty knee that sounded like a home run. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Shout out to Chito.
That's nasty.
Yeah, I mean, Peyton looked really well. I'm excited to see now that he's got a little bit of buzz around him. I'm excited to see like how they push him and see what his next matchup will be at. You know, if they'll give him the Sean O'Malley treatment, you know, how are they going to try to maneuver him to through the division? Because 135, even outside of the top 15, there's still very nice, favorable matchups.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a lot of killers.
A lot.
That division's like...
It is. Edmund Shabazian coming back. I thought that he was out of there. I thought AJ was gonna get him out of there in like the first 30 seconds. He comes back. Yeah, finishes AJ. And then, you know, the last two fights. So the card was kind of just, you know, the card was just doing what it was supposed to do. I mean, what y'all want to say about it?
Just like filling up time. Filling up time. It's like, why am I here? What's going on in life?
AJ's. Yeah,
what up?
I said this to Sky. Like, I said, watching female MMA is like watching your daughter, but she sucks.
Say that again.
It's like watching female MMA is like watching your daughter, but she sucks. You love her.
You watching your daughter suck what?
I'm talking about sports.
It sounds a little sus.
She plays food. She plays football. She's not that good, but you love her. You want to support her dreams. You got to do it. That's what it feels like. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
A lot of girls are like average or not even that good.
You know what? I like what you talking about, bro. I fucked with you. Yeah. Don't you agree, Sky?
No, because what I will say is that a lot of male fighters on the UFC are average as well, but because you are looking through the male gaze, you don't necessarily like majority of these fights were men and majority of the fights were mid. There was how many female fights? 2. And people will talk crap about the female fights, but all the rest of the card, all 13 other fights were mid fights, and no, like Muhammad Usman versus Nick Parkin was a mid terrible fucking fight. 2 big men who had no fucking cardio and they're just slanging and banging, no type of great technique. But we don't talk about that. We only look at the female fighters and then say, oh, look at them, they suck. And it's like, you had 13 other fights with men who fucking sucked, who were mid-average, who were never going to be champions, who weren't even exciting. But we don't highlight that. We don't talk about that because they're men. Simply just because they're men, you guys give them a pass.
No, you know what's really interesting? Dana would never criticize any of the female fights. He knows. Because Dana criticized on Dimitri Johnson about the pay-per-view numbers, all that stuff. But he never, ever criticized. Rarely you see him criticize about the females. Rarely. That's when I notice. He does. But he will criticize the guys, though. He will criticize the guys. I know. I kind of know why. Yeah, but
I won't say all of the female fight sucks. I'm saying like
it's
my winning percentage, 97.6. You know what I'm saying?
I would say 8/2, like 2/8 type of stuff. Like 80% of them are like eh, but you find guys, it's like 20% of them are like eh. That's what it feels. It's a huge margin.
That's
not
how
even. I feel.
I can't argue with your feelings, but just when it comes down to statistical facts, we watch cards every single week, and we have majority of males are on the fight. We would say about 80% of the card is men, if not more, and they're mid fights. Last week was mid. This week was mid. There's nothing on here that you're like, oh my God. And then you get a female fight, and you guys are like, oh God, I gotta go take a break. But there were so many breaks to take this whole weekend. There were 13 other fights with male fighters that were mid. But we're not talking about those, are we?
Yeah, I'm not saying there's no male fights. It's just in terms of
There's
quantity.
more mid fights because there's more male mid fights that are happening.
I'm like, it's like, I agree.
Last weekend's card, it was what it was. We do have a new card coming up this weekend. Obviously, it's in Atlantic City, so they've made it a little bit better than the Apex card. It's a little bit better. We do have Jace's girl, Erin Blanchfield, taking on Fiorot. Yeah, I mean,
few actually interesting final fighters. One of the few.
I don't know how she's interested. She's just going to hold on to her.
What about
what is Erin doing that's exciting y'all?
Well, first of all, she can get this work.
Andrade got submitted. Didn't she get submitted Andrade? And Molly got submitted. And she got booed at her own hometown. Everybody was rooting for her. And she was like, okay. No, like in New York when Molly was getting cheer and Molly and she was like, okay. Is that what you feel? And she just like submitted like, cool.
She is the most dominating female fighter in the game right now.
And I know when people talk about that Santos fight, which was really boring. Santos was tired. She looks at Erin Blanchfield like, get away from me. Don't get away from me.
Santos was tired, but like even that, like it was that was exciting. Like
no,
she's the most dominating female fighter on the planet right now.
She's one of the
on the planet. That's a strong
most
statement.
dominating female fighter on the planet. You just watch in awe and greatness.
You're tripping.
I'm like, I would agree, but at the same time, if Tatiana was there, she could compete with her. But yeah, right now I would say she's like currently.
I don't understand, Scott. I'm getting fired up about a female fighter. You should be, tapping me on the back.
I don't like Erin Blanchfield's style. Like,
domination?
At all. I don't know. No, her last fight with Talia Santos was terrible.
Talia Santos didn't want it.
She ran away to PFL. She was like, "Nah, screw this."
Yeah.
This paycheck.
She got absolutely destroyed.
No, it was actually a close fight.
Agree to disagree. Who won?
Just because Erin won, it doesn't mean that it wasn't close. We're not going to act like close fights don't exist.
Who
If that's
won?
the case, then we'll go back to Islam versus Volkanovski. Jace won.
Who won?
Hey.
Anyways.
Hey. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Vicente Luque taking on Joaquin Buckley. I'm excited for this fight.
Yeah, watch that guy, Nozodan Ruzoboyev. That dude is nasty. He was the first one who actually took the L from Buna Fiera. Buna Fiera was the first one who KO'd Robocop, Edgar Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Brazil, and he was the shortest fighter when he took on Buna Fiera. I think it was like 1 week or 2 weeks. He KO'd him at first round. Legit.
Yeah. I remember that fight. I'm shocked to look on here and see Cedricus Dumas, a.k.a. 21 Savage. He looks just like 21 Savage, the rapper.
Yeah.
But, like, he was just arrested, like, a month ago.
For what?
He
was, like, arguing with his girlfriend, and then the police showed up outside, and he was like, I'm not doing anything, I'm just walking. And then, they ended up arresting him for whatever reason. It was all on Facebook. He had it on his Facebook. He went live on Facebook. Talking about disturbing the peace. That's what it was. That was the charge, disturbing the peace.
Got him with the old school, disturbing the peace.
Called the police. I heard that his girl called for the police.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. She did that.
She did do that. Chris Weidman coming back against Bruno Silva.
Just
who?
Why is Chris fighting again?
Who?
I still got it. I
didn't know he was still alive.
I'm like, at this point, if both of his legs break, and he's like, nah, man, this is not my. I'm like, dude, just.
Your boy just reminds me of Luke Rockhold. One more to fight in UFC, then he's gonna go to bare knuckle and realize that like Mike Perry's that dude, and then sail off into the sunset, go and sell cars or whatever the fuck that what does your boy do? Uh,
You mean Luke?
IAN.
Oh,
Alec
Ala
Quinta.
Quinta,
Yeah.
real estate.
Yeah, go rock with that nigga.
We got Nate Landwehr on the card, y'all. Nate the Train.
What?
Yeah.
OG veteran.
Choo
Yeah,
choo.
taking on
Better.
Jabal. I know that Jace doesn't care, but Loopy back on the card, taking on Verna Janjarova. Hey, do what you want to do. Loopy is a dog.
Yeah.
That Anton Tour. Isn't that the guy?
Yeah, this is Pleasure Man.
Pleasure. Ew.
Pleasure P.
Hey, who did he get knocked out by recently?
Tyson.
D's.
Pedro. Tyson Pedro. That's my boy. Yeah, he's on a 3-fight losing streak. And also, I watched it on Contender Series. He came out with that same kind of vibrato. He won the fight, but he did it just by like holding on for dear life. And Dana did not sign him because it wasn't an entertaining fight on the Contender Series. But then, he came in late notice against Jalton Almeida. They signed him, let him come on. And then he lost to Petrino and now to Pedro. And hopefully he loses this fight too so they can cut his ass because no one cares.
Hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Keep that bag. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Some fighters are just participants. Oh, this Colin Lawrence. This guy, he took a lot of crap to the French people, and he lost.
Does he?
Yeah, like that one time when he fought in France. Yeah, he did. He taught a lot of crap to the French people, and like eventually when he lose, like it's just like he went silent.
Well, let's be honest. Who doesn't talk shit about the French people?
So he pulled a Jace, is what you're saying?
Yeah, he did. Tried to kind of like.
Do I talk shit about French people?
No, just talking shit, and then when you lose, you're quiet.
I'm never quiet. It's so rare that I lose, though. It throws me off my game because I'm just a winner. I'm a born winner. It's just what I do. It's in my nature. It's who I am. It's who I am as a being. Oh my God, you smell that? That's me winning. Like that's what it is.
Oh my gosh, this dude. Let's go ahead and get some picks for the top three. The top three fights. Chris Weidman versus Bruno Silva. I'm going Silva.
Silva.
Weidman, you're old. It's over. Please stop.
Does anyone trust like Chris Weidman? I don't trust him with a fucking Twinkie.
He's gonna get KO'd. He's pretty much becoming the middleweight Frankie Edgar.
Oh my gosh. Oh, poor Frankie.
That is not a compliment.
I know. Vicente Luque versus Buckley. I'm going Vicente.
Buckley.
Oh, you going Buckley? Okay.
Because Vicente, he takes a lot. He has been a lot.
I'm going Buckley. Black Pride. I thought you was on the team, Sky. Revoked, nigga.
Yo, I wish that CJ was on right now because, like, this is one of those rare moments where Jace actually goes for the black fighter, which almost never happens. And CJ would be proud. But I just think that skill-wise, Vicente is just more skilled.
Yeah. And for all you people who like to bet like myself, I would actually bet, if I'm being honest. But Buckley first round KO or Vicente decision.
What'd you say?
I said I would bet.
No, I was saying Tanib.
Oh. Yeah, second kill.
Okay.
Buckley second kill.
And then I'm assuming we're all going Erin Blanchfield.
Welcome to the team. Welcome to the team. Choo choo. Welcome to the train. Come on, ride the train and ride it.
Yep. Because I don't see Fiorot has been able to. Did she ever like deal with actual grapplers and wrestlers? fights.
Yeah, I don't think so. Let me see.
That's why. That's because I recall my memory. All of them are strikers.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's why. That's the reason why I choose Erin, because she actually knows how to do the takedown.
Yeah, and I
Like,
think that's what
yeah,
it's going to be.
yeah, pretty much. That's the
I
reason
don't think
why.
she's super impressive though. I kind of like even her striking. Like she doesn't look as bad as Patty Pimblin, but her striking doesn't look top notch to me.
It's
Patty.
aggressive. Aggressive.
It is. Yeah, I think it'll be, an okay card. It should be better since it is Atlantic City. The crowd should be live. There should be a lot more going on. Right before we started the show, I was talking to Nip, and I was like, man, 300's right around the corner, and then I was like, no, it's not. No, we still have Brendan Allen versus Curtis next week, the week
Oh
afterwards.
God!
Like we can't like. It feels
Limp
like
stick
we're
on prom
years
night.
away. It feels like we're years away from UFC 300, and we
Yes.
need it. We're being starved to death, so that by the time we get to 300, like we'll take whatever.
Yeah, and 301 is not even that good.
Mission accomplished.
Oh, 301 is trash. It has to
Not
be
that good.
one of the worst. It has to be one of the worst pay-per-view events ever. Top 5 at least.
Ever.
Might be top 2. Like it's horrible. Like we thought that Canada got a Raw deal when they had Amanda versus Aldana, but at least that still had Charles on there. There still were some names on there. All 301 has is Pantoja, and no one cares.
Jose.
Put Jose Aldo over Pantoja at this point. Like,
hey, don't talk about the champ like that. Just because he sent your boy into retirement.
He didn't retire.
Sabbatical.
Hey, lots of fighters have done it. But what I will say is that no one cares about Pantoja. No one cares. You're not hyped. You're not over here like, yeah, let's go Pantoja. Hyped. Oh my God! It's for him to get a layup against Steve Ersic.
It's all right.
Hey, he deserved it. He's a champ.
Oh my gosh!
Shout out to Sean O'Malley.
He's an okay champion. He's not.
No, he's a nut hugger.
Yeah.
What's wrong with people who like to hug nuts?
Not entertaining. Listen, if you're gonna be a nut hugger, at least be a nut cracker, okay? Go inside there with some nasty ground and pound. Go inside there trying to finish this man off. No pause, fast forward. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't. That's why I have always liked and still respect Khabib. Khabib, although he was a wrestler, was going in there to smash you. He was never just trying to lay on top of you. He was going in there to be nasty, to submit you, or beat you until you quit.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not flatbread. He's a swarm with a lot of beef.
I smash your boy. Smash your boy.
Yeah, and this card is looking... Yeah, this card is looking pretty...
Oh, Trevor Peak with Campbell. I like that fight.
I feel like, and I'd like to hear y'all opinion on it, that we don't have those sound bites like we used to. You know what I mean? I'll smash your boy. Who the fuck are you?
Oh my God, Germaine.
That's what I was telling you earlier. Germaine Durandamy is back out of nowhere.
Where are you?
Who cares?
Where has she been? Like, it's been years.
Who cares?
They have her picture with the Reebok on. So are you telling me she hasn't fought since the Venom era? Like, what was the last time she fought? Let's see. 2020. Jeez. October 3rd of 2020. She lost to Pena. That's disgusting. Oh, no, she beat Pena. Sorry,
Pena.
She beat Pena.
When is Pena coming back? Because I fuck with Pena.
She beat Pena. Pena's coming back probably... Let's see. She's 135 going up against... oh, my God. Rocky. Jesus.
Sky, Pena said... Did you hear what Pena said on the tweet? She said, I'm so sick and tired of the BMF belt. I want the female version of the BMF belt. BFM. That's what she said. No. And I'm like, with all due respect, Pena, your competition is not that good.
No.
She beat the GOAT.
Only once, and it was a fluke.
And then got demolished.
There is no only once. There is no only once. fair and square. It wasn't like she went in there and like blew out her knee.
No, she was injured in their camp, and she took the fight.
Yeah.
And she
And then she
underestimated.
went back and got
No
demolished.
excuses. No. Sky, we talk
What
about this
does
all the time.
beating
No
the
fucking
goat have to
excuses.
do with? Yeah, but what does
What
beating
does
the
Sean-
goat have to do with her?
What Sean said. What Sean said.
She got to
Sean O'Malley
win. She
said.
got a dub.
Okay,
O'Malley said the
that
exact
doesn't
same
mean
thing.
that we want to see you.
I do.
Pena.
Listen, nobody wants to see Pena versus Raquel Pennington.
I want to see Pena versus anybody.
No, you want to see Pena on the at the presser. You want to hear her talk smack the whole time. You do not want to sit there and watch 25 minutes of Rocky Pennington doing anything.
No, I'm not talking about Rocky. I'm talking about Pena because Pena's there trying to beat the brakes off of niggas
And getting dropped.
or dropping people. Shout out to Amanda Nunes.
She didn't drop Amanda.
Pop lock and drop it.
I think she did though. Did she?
Mm-mm. It was a
she
scramble.
wrestled her.
Yeah, it was a scramble. Yeah.
She wrestled
Okay,
her.
Now
DC.
she did.
No, this is the one thing. The one thing I do like about Pena, she may come across as kind of like an MMA Karen, but she's the only woman with a strong self-belief to beat Amanda Nunes. Because if
Facts.
you look all Nunes opponents, when they talk what they can do on Nunes, they're always like, yes, I believe she could, I know I can, when Pena talks, you ain't shit, I'm gonna beat you, you run away from me, you ducking me. I'm like, Nunes was like, wait, what?
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Since when like my opponents talks like this, all of you just shut up and become a sheep. And Pena was the only one with fangs. Like she was like, nah, this feels weird. And that's when I know she was like, oh, okay. I respect that with Pena though. And she bite back over DC, say, hey, Pena, you don't deserve a rematch. And Pena was like, didn't you got a rematch over with Stipe when you lost the belt?
Yeah.
And like, hey.
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, that's one of my biggest criticism toward the female fighters. There's no personality. There's no personality. Yeah. Like it's Sky. We talk all the time. Give me a storyline. Make me care about you. Make me want to tune in. Whether it's because I want to see you smash someone or because I want to see someone fucking raw dog you. Like one or the other.
And this is why Joanna and Ronda Rousey try to be this like kind of like you can't beat me, egotistical, narcissistic, like leather jacket villains, and all the other girls are like sweethearts, like I'm gonna win.
Yeah, shout out to Joanna. Joanna used to be crazy and
Joanna
just staring into your soul.
Yeah,
in guts.
She was doing a favor for the female division, trying to be this kind of tough girl, badass type of character. I always say this: there's too many sweethearts. Some of the girls have to be a bitch in order to become.
Facts.
I'm like imagine one of the girls KO beat up like one of her opponents ground and pound, and after she could lift out and start twerking over her, and like I guarantee you that will
go viral.
It will go viral. Like she just
go
beat
viral.
her up and just start twerking like Jordan Levitt, like.
We don't talk about that motherfucker on the pod.
Yeah, we do. That's my friend, man. Shout out.
Weird ass nigga.
Shout out to Jordan Levitt. There was a girl who did that, but she did it at the Apex. She won her fight and then she started did a handstand twerk. But your girl was like, hey, she shout out her OnlyFans because apparently like she make more money on her OnlyFans. She made like $90,000 right after that fight when she was like, shout out to my OnlyFans.
Hey,
free version though, I ain't paying to play. You know what I'm saying? Hey, real nigga, little internet search real fast.
Fighters are selfish. You look at those like UFC like law settlements; they only care about themselves. You heard?
Yeah, that's another thing. Okay, yeah, let's get into it. So the antitrust lawsuit was settled. What was it? $335 million.
And that was a hot take that we've got, which was asking, what do we feel about it?
The house always wins.
Yeah. Because Because fight. Listen, I always say this: you like MMA and boxing is me, 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 me. It's all me, me sport. It's not you or me. It's me, 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 me type of sport. You don't care about other fighters. If you ask them, hey man, can you break even with your own purse with mine so we can be equal? No, screw you. I don't care about you. It's all
Yeah.
about me. And one of the fighters say like, oh, it's all the main goal is about to change the sport, but we have to do like try to like do 10 more years, and we could lose the whole thing. But at the same time, if they did that, they actually expose a lot of those bad practice negotiation tactics of the UFC, and actually
Yeah.
could change the contract. But instead, they don't want to take those 10 extra years and take the easy route and the compromise of the settlement.
Yep.
Every man for themselves, and that's not even a lot. 335 or 315 million or 35 million. That's not a lot.
No.
That's, yeah.
I think
It's
for
like,
me, this is something that like I've talked about for a long time with Sky and Unionized. I mean, I do want to see like the actual devil in the details and what actually comes out. Because yeah, like that number is not a great number, but I want to see like what's in the details, what else is in it. Because if it's just the number, why did we do this? Why did you drag out 10 years of me? And shout out to Luke Thomas, because Luke Thomas is the best MMA reporter in the game who talks about fighter unions. So I really want to see what the details are, because if it's just a bag, I'm gonna be so disappointed in Kung Lee and John Fitch and all of them signing off on it, because they shouldn't have signed off on it. And it does make them look selfish in the public eye, because they're talking about they want to change the game. Because ultimately, I do think that the fighters should, be employees and classified that, not independent contractors. Because I don't see how you can be contracted as an independent fighter or independent contractor when you have rules and everything you have to abide by. We have a dress code. You know what I mean? It's not like the old days in UFC where you could go out, get your own sponsor, get your own money. Now you can't even get your own fucking shoes. You know what I mean? Like you can't even wear your own fucking shoes anymore. So if that's not, being a employee and having a uniform, then what the fuck is? At least a stripper can wear whatever uniform she wants to wear that night.
I think, once again, I'm going to bring it up, just like when Francis left and people were like, oh, yeah, he screwed the system and blah, 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 blah. And it's like a year and a
there's so much
half,
about the
almost 2
fighters.
years later. And what has he done for the fighters? That the things that he left for, he didn't get any of them. Bellator and PFL have. Did y'all wait real quick? Did y'all notice that? Well, y'all didn't watch Bellator this weekend, but Bellator fighters now have uniforms. They're allowed to have like a couple sponsors, but they're now in uniform. Remember, Bellator still allowed people to wear whatever they wanted on their shorts and stuff. Now they're in uniforms, which was interesting. But Francis did all of this, and all he's been doing is just getting the bag. The only thing that changed is that his opponent, whoever's going up against him, gets at minimum $2 million. Aside from that, what has he done for the rest of the fighters that are making 10 and 10, 12 and 12? What's going on with the union? What is going on with any of those things that were talked about, all those demands that he had? None of that's happening. So when I said that he was doing it strictly because that it was about a bag, that it had nothing to do with this whole altruistic ideology that he was putting out there, everybody was calling me a hater. And I'm just like, the proof is in the pudding. It's been a year and a half and nothing has changed. Nothing's happened.
Hitting in the house.
Yeah.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying I would like to see some type of evolution, something happening, something that lets me know, like, oh, okay, why he left, and it's not just about him making money in boxing. He's helping the fighters, because that's what it's about, right? That's what you said it was about. None of them fighters in the PFL or Bellator are doing any better than they were doing before you came over there. And y'all still over here talking about John Jones and every single UFC fighter. And you got people in PFL and Bellator still talking about wanting to come to the UFC. It's wild out here. But yet people are like, oh, the people that are coming from the UFC, all of these washed up old ass fighters, Bellator and PFL is paying them out. And they're like, oh, I'm making more money. Well, of course, because you're coming from the UFC and they're trying to acquire eyes by paying you X amount of money. But the regular fighters that just go the regular route to PFL and Bellator are making 10 and 10. Like, they make significantly less. And it's just like, what has changed? Nothing has changed. That now with this lawsuit, like nothing has changed. PFL lost their number one person in Kayla Harrison. It's just nothing is changing. The house always wins. Daddy Dana on top.
Yeah, so
House of Cards.
any fighters that say about complain about fighter pay, I'm like, you don't deserve to complain because every one of you are acting the same way. There's a lot of like there's a guy called Yusuf from Pro and Casuals. He's a fighter. He talks about like he's a fighter. He's been in the game for 10 years. He said this 85% of MMA fighters are stupid. He said that. I didn't said that. He said that. And he's a fighter, 85%. And because he said that NBA, when you have like if you take agents, you need a law degree in order to become someone's manager or agent. But an MMA agent, they don't have to do that. You could just be whatever you want and say, hey, sure, let me just sign you out.
Shout out to Ali.
Yeah. They don't. Majority of the NFL, NBA, they know about the business operation. Like they get educated, surrounded by themselves about the business. But a lot of MMA fighters, they're not aware about those stuff. They don't care about business. That's why.
Nope.
This is why they don't. Because if they actually did that, they actually take those 10 extra years and exposed all those terrible business practice. They would actually make a lot of public aware about the situation of those contracts and actually make better leverage over their negotiating contract deals. They could have done
then to take one step further, when you really start going down the rabbit hole, you find out that one championship who is always talking about they're the best, blah, 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 contracts are way worse than the UFC. It's crazy. Like, that was nuts to find out that they got you in perpetuity.
Everybody ain't no.
Yeah, the MMA game, hopefully but that's why we were hoping that something would come from the antitrust lawsuit to try and see a shift in the whole MMA space, the whole MMA game. But people just gonna get paid out. Is Mark Hunt gonna get paid in this? Like, I know he had his own separate lawsuit that he lost. He owes the UFC like $350,000. Like, is somebody gonna throw your boy a bone? Like,
listen, I feel bad for Mark Hunt, man. Like, that's some bullshit.
No wonder, no wonder he was yelling to us about all those fighters. You cowards!
Your boy was on the Jamba Juice and didn't tell him.
Hey.
That's wild. Like that's legitimately putting someone's life in danger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sad.
For y'all who don't know out there, Mark Hunt fought Brock, and the UFC knew Brock was juiced, and still allowed it to fight the fight to happen.
The original Somalian.
Now, my man Mark Hunt, last I saw, was a bouncer at XS in Las Vegas nightclub. It's terrible.
Stop it.
I ain't fucking with that nigga.
Tours everywhere. No one is doing tours. He actually toured here, which is crazy.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Where's
he had a
here?
Seminar here. Brunei. Once. There was
Brunei.
Yeah.
Is that where you're at?
Yeah, it's like if you type the world's boring country to visit, it will say Brunei.
That's not true.
I'm not lying. Type. Go ahead. Type the world's most boring country to visit. You could do it right now. It would say Brunei.
They fuck with black people out there?
There are some black people. I don't like look at them
Cyprus.
Like, yeah. Eh?
It says Cyprus. Cyprus. Is
Cyprus.
most boring. Yeah.
The last time
I've been to Cyprus.
Says it's not much.
But then you gotta say
Brunei
about
is there. Brunei is next. Oh, that's crazy.
That's it. See?
Oh my
it's there,
God.
right? Yeah, I've
I've been to Cyprus, but then it's got to be. Are you talking about the Greek side or the Turkish side of Cyprus?
I'm just telling you what Google said. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Did you have a good time when you were in Cyprus?
I was balls deep. I was good.
Thanks. Do you have any other hot takes?
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm sorry because I'm using my phone today, so I can't give the shout out to who it is. I'll hit you on the comments. But they asked, and I like this one. What is your favorite submission? Like not like specifically like, oh, this person did this, just like in general. Do you like seeing a real naked arm? Like, what's your favorite submission?
Bare feet in the kitchen. No, I'm playing. Shout out to Sean Strickland. Psych. Mine's is um probably the armbar. Because when
Mm.
someone's in a deep armbar, it's terrifying to look at. Like I'm like, especially like if it's like real deep and they're trying to fight it, and I'm like watching between my fingers, like, oh god, it's gonna snap. It might happen. So that always makes it super exciting. And then when you see somebody successfully get out of a super deep armbar, like you're like, oh my god, how did that happen? I have thoughts of Tony Ferguson just holding on for dear life, looking at Charles Oliveira, like, I'm not gonna tap, you're gonna have to snap it. And Charles being like, what the hell? Like, you know what I mean? So I would probably say armbar because of that suspense.
I think for me, the best armbar I didn't see tap was your boy Hardy not tapping the GSP. It's the deepest armbar I've ever seen.
Or what about your boy at 125, little weird looking Cody Durden?
Oh, yeah,
Remember
yeah,
Cody
yeah,
Durden in
yeah,
London at one time?
yeah.
Oh,
Deep.
yeah.
Just
What
the
about
way I
you?
like it. I mean, the way I give it. Yes.
Whoa, pause.
I think I would choose guillotine now. Yeah, I think Volk when he fought with Brian Ortega, that was
Hey.
crazy. That's crazy.
Shout out to DDP. Don't be silly. Jump the gilly. I was just watching that fight before we got. That's what he said. He was like, I'm going to continue to jump the gilly. I
Every
don't
time.
care. Every time.
Coach, don't please stop with the guillotine. Don't guillotine. I will never stop.
I'll never stop.
For
Yeah,
me, it's by far the twister because
Oh,
it's a pain submission.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just pain. How much pain? And it just looks like, oh my god, oh, pineapples, nigga, stop it. Pretzels.
Oh,
Shout
I
out to
hate a
Aunt
twister.
Annie. Yeah, that fucking a twister to me is just it's hilarious when someone gets put in a twister.
Yeah,
You
and
know they're in
it's
their
only
feels.
happened 3 times in the UFC.
It's great. Just a
Shout
great
out.
fucking twister.
You know what I went back and watched this weekend? I went back and I watched Max Holloway versus Korean Zombie.
Mm,
And man, the retirement of the zombie still got to me to this day. Like the whole crowd just singing. What a magical freaking moment that was.
fair.
Um,
Yeah,
you know.
an OG.
Yeah.
Bad
Uh,
though. But he was just a contender though. Never was a champ.
no. Yep.
Just like same as DDP. Dustin.
Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dustin. I
Boy,
love that
Islam
I
came
too.
out
Like,
spitting fangs at that nigga.
Yeah,
I
I
always
am
love it.
happy to see that Islam is finally starting to talk back a little bit. You know, we
Oh
need that.
yeah,
We needed him
yeah.
to. You know, he came out and told because Dustin was like, because Dustin said, you know, he could beat anybody at any point in time, and that that his career is better than Islam because Islam has said that he didn't feel like that Dustin that deserved a title shot, but he would fight him anyways because he's the one that's available. So DDP was like, I can beat anybody on any other night. My career is more, you know, it's just a more complete. I've done more in MMA than you have. And your boy Islam came back and said,
Oh
if
yeah.
you could beat anybody, you would be champion right now. But I am.
Fire.
Yeah.
Dead.
Facts.
Dead. Hey,
I-
the best trash talk you can talk is a factual trash talk. You
Yeah.
can't say nothing back.
Yeah.
That's
And then
that's
he
what I
went on to
noticed.
say, Islam went on to say his level is permanent contender. How many title losses? 2, 3? I was like, okay, Islam.
Shout out to Uriah Faber in his UFC career.
That's
Shout out to Joseph Benavidez.
Hey, Joey B. You
The
know,
ultimate.
just those people who, you know, but I mean that is. I don't think Dustin Poirier ever wins an undisputed title.
Shout out to Drake.
like
What was the song he did on the ESPYs about second place?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm gonna send you that shit as soon as we get off the pod. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
if But
What'd you say?
I think Dustin gonna take the title shot. He's gonna take the title shot. He's probably
Yeah.
gonna be the next one. Because we don't know with Max Holloway versus Gaethje, like it's gonna be a brutal war. Unstoppable force versus unstoppable chin. It's gonna be bloody.
Chin loses every time.
Not this Chin.
Hey, I don't care who.
Let's not get into it. Let's not get into it.
Listen, all I know is that coming up on UFC 300, when y'all come on here talking about Max, the following week when Max Holloway wins, y'all better come on here with some respect and some sorrow.
Here's my prediction yet.
No, not you. I'm talking directly to Jace. I'm talking
yeah.
directly to Jace. Because Jace is like this close to, for me, just kicking him out. In the middle, mid-sentence, just boop. Oh, I don't know what happened to him. Not letting him back in. Okay? Because y'all not going to play. But when he wins, even that's to everybody that's watching this too. Because we get comments about, oh, this is going to happen to Max, blah, 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 blah. When he wins, I want y'all to come back with the same amount of energy that y'all had when y'all said this, and that's going to happen to him. And I just want y'all to say sorry. It's good.
You know, one thing I have to say about Max though, he's actually getting more muscle. If you watch his vlogs, he's like doing his body very well.
I'll just say this. I hope Max's execution is swift. Swift and quick.
You just hope that because all of your favorite fighters have been murdered. That's why. That's why. You know, we're talking about Tony Ferguson. We're talking about BJ Penn, Volkanovski just recently. Like, all your guys, except for Ilya, have been murdered and have went out on, you know, a stretcher. So that's what you want to see for my guy. But it's not going to happen.
I don't want to see Max go on a stretcher. I love me some Max Holloway.
Yeah. No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I'm just a realist.
If Max... If he can, the only thing I can say if he wins, if he submit Gaethje. People forget, Max actually has good jiu-jitsu. That's the only way I can think of.
Listen.
I feel like I'm in the Max Holloway fan club right now.
At the end of the day, we're going to get to UFC 300 when we get there. Until then, this weekend's card at the Apex, at Atlantic City, Erin Blanchfield. We'll see what happens. We will most definitely be back next week. Until then, we are out. Peace.
Peace.